Today I wanted to share with you guys something a little bit different. I want to show you an update on my altcoin portfolio, which altcoins I'm buying and selling, and my journey to building an altcoin portfolio, the wins, the losses, and everything in between. And for those of you who don't know what an altcoin is basically a form of cryptocurrency. Now, this is a particular coin or token, basically anything that isn't Bitcoin. So there's plenty of little coins and tokens underneath that you can buy and sell and trade. There can be crazy gains and crazy losses, but it's really fun and really interesting to get involved with. And don't worry, if you guys don't know how to buy altcoins, I'm going to do a video later this week showing my exact process step by step. Now, I think it's really important to note that I really do this for fun. I don't think this is a really stable investment to put all of your money in, but it can be really interesting with such big gains, and it's really hip and on trend at the moment, and you can make some money off the back of all the hype and the rapid growth in projects. And I also thought, because we're at the $500 mark, it's a great starting point for anyone who's interested in getting into altcoins, and it shows a real transparent look. It's really relatable because you're not looking at a $10 million portfolio that's got no bearing on what you've actually got. In this series, I'm going to document my journey. At the moment, I'm aiming to build up to around a $10,000 portfolio. As I build this account up and make my way towards that $10,000 goal, it's important to remember this will still be less than 5% of my total portfolio, because I think it's really high risk, but it's really fun and I like getting involved with it. So if you guys are interested in watching me build this account up and follow my journey, make sure you subscribe and follow along, because it's going to be a wild ride. And what this series isn't going to be is me hyping up coins, telling you it's an emergency, that you need to buy them now or you're going to lose money, that you can 20x your gains on every single coin. But of course, that's what the YouTube algorithm loves, because people click on them videos because of the massive price predictions. So this video is probably going to get nowhere, so if you can drop a like, that would be much appreciated. And I think it is really important to actually show you what I am buying. There's plenty of channels out there that are giving you all these price predictions and telling you which are the hottest coins to buy, but actually they don't buy that coin in the video, and they don't show you if they're actually holding that coin or not. And then in a later portfolio video, you see that they haven't even bought that coin. So everything I'm going to be talking about here is something that I'm actually going to buy, and I'll show you the journey step by step. Now, one of the questions I have been asked, and I got this on my last video about my $500 Coinbase portfolio, is that by the time you watch this video, it might seem a little bit out of date. So if you do want more up-to-date information to discuss options, what we're going to buy, what we're trying to sell, then make sure you join the Facebook group down below where we'll discuss all of those kinds of things. So let's dive into the portfolio so far. Let's get you guys up to speed and show you what I've bought and sold so far. Now, before we dive into this, it's important for me to note that I'm going to try and keep this very beginner friendly. I'm not going to dive too much into the technical analysis, and I'm not going to draw on charts, so if you're looking for that, that's not me. I'm going to keep this quite simple and make it easier to understand. To be honest, I think half of the people that do talk about the technical analysis and all the technical aspects of all of this, the block powered chains and all this kind of stuff, I'm not convinced that the people that even talk about it really know what they're talking about. My background for the past 15 years has been in IT and web development and coding. Even I'm not afraid to admit that I have a hard time understanding what some of it is about. So just be aware, I think a lot of people giving this guidance don't really know the technical aspects behind it. They are buying it on the back of hype. So you've got two approaches. You can either buy coins based on hype and news and try and bank some quick profits, or you go for stable long-term investments and try and hold them and see where the project goes. And my portfolio is a mix of both. So I'm going to split this video into two halves, because I actually have two different portfolios. I have my Binance portfolio where I keep my smaller coins, and I also have my Coinbase portfolio. So I'm going to show you both, but let's start with Binance first. So the first coin I bought in the portfolio was StormX. Now, StormX was something that was mentioned a lot on social media, on Reddit and Twitter, and actually it has rocketed. So it's ranked 125th in terms of tokens, and it did gain a lot of popularity recently. So if you look at the price overall, you can see just how much it has literally just rocketed up in value. The StormX is essentially a marketplace that enables users to earn tokens by completing microtasks or shopping at global partner stores online. So it's basically a reward system for shopping or completing certain tasks. As you can see from the chart, you can see just how much it's rocketed in the past month. I invested $100 into StormX, and I actually sold it at $300 because I felt like the hype had kind of died down a bit and it was on its way back down. So I profited $200 on that one alone. So at this point, I started the account with $200 and I'm now up to $500 in the account. So I then had the idea to split that $500 between 5 different coins. First one I bought out of these was BitTorrent. Now, BitTorrent used to be the peer-to-peer trading system where you could send and receive files from friends, or people used to use it to download music and films. So in essence, this term of decentralization, they were one of the first people to do this kind of thing, along with Napster and other torrenting software. So this is essentially the token for their new platform. They were bought by a company called Tron in July 2018, and they were really hyped to become this really massive project. It was actually one of the biggest sales in the crypto space. And when it launched, as you can imagine, there was a lot of hype around the project because people were so familiar with the BitTorrent name. But actually when it launched, it pretty much flatlined completely. It was expected to do really big things and it just didn't perform at any sort of level. Now recently it has gone up quite significantly and I did have quite good price targets for this. But doing some more research on this, it has come out that it's actually being massively promoted on the top source for financial information, TikTok. So TikTokers like to jump on really small coins and boost them up and pump them, and everybody buys in, and it creates this kind of pump and dump spiral effect. But it has rocketed so far recently that I feel personally that there's a good chance once the hype dies down, it could come plummeting down with it. So what I decided to do with this one is I actually sold it today, and I sold it for 123. So I made $23 or 23%, so I'm still pretty happy with that. And I've now invested that in another coin. So with the remainder of my money, I'm actually holding VChain. The price is currently at $0.09, with a price target of a whopping $0.1, which as you can imagine would be a great return on our money. Now there's a lot of rumours saying VChain is on the cusp of a bullish breakout, which basically means if it hits a certain target, then it's likely to rocket. Now what exactly is VChain? Well, it's established in 2015 and it's grown to become one of the biggest blockchain projects in the world. It's got a market capitalization of more than 5.77 billion, making it the 20th biggest project in the world. And as always guys, if you want to find more information about this, you can go on the website, read through all the documentation, but it is quite complicated. And what I found when I was doing research with a lot of these coins and different tokens, that a lot of them are very, very similar. And if you were to look at maybe 10 of the websites, you can't really tell the difference between what one's trying to do or what another one's trying to do. So I wouldn't get too bogged down in the technical aspects. You want to look at what the targets are, what the current price is, and what's going on around it, what major events might be coming up. So as I mentioned, I'm holding VChain with the hope that I'm going to make maybe 10 times my money, which I might not. These targets I'm setting right here are kind of medium high. They're not as high as what some of the hype websites are saying, where they're saying it's going to go 20 times the price, but they're kind of realistic price predictions in the middle of all the estimates. I might just take double my profit and cash out. It just depends if a better opportunity comes along. Now the next two tokens I'm holding with $100 each are Cardano and Polkadot. Now they're kind of leading the space in smart contracts, and I've moved recently away from Ethereum and I'm kind of doubling down on Cardano. I think Ethereum is kind of halted at the moment. I'm going to look at picking Ethereum back up towards the summertime. For the moment, I think Cardano and Polkadot have got more potential. Now Cardano and Polkadot, as you might have seen in some of my previous videos, are kind of leading the way on smart contracts, which is hoping to be the future in a lot of industries where things are going to happen. So people are going to promise certain parameters need to be met. If they're met, then the payment is released. It cuts out a lot of the middlemen in a lot of transactions. So that's why people really like Cardano and Polkadot. If you want to read more about them, you can either check out my previous videos or you can go on the Cardano or the Polkadot website where there's plenty of reading available. It's quite hard to understand, but if you spend some time, it's kind of easy to get your head around what they're kind of trying to do. They've both got some really bold ideas on what they're trying to do and change the way the world works. Whether they'll get there or not, I'm not quite sure, but I'm more than happy to ride the price as it's going up. And the word at the moment with Cardano is it could be the calm before the storm. But it has been quite stagnant recently, but the idea is if it breaks through these kind of targets, then it could rocket. Whether I believe that or not, I'm not quite sure, but the long-term goals behind the project and the team are very solid, which is always a really nice factor. Another really strong reason why I like Cardano is that Charles Hoskinson, the founder, has unveiled plans to push Cardano as a top NFT platform. Now, for those of you who don't know what an NFT is, it's basically this new form of crypto art that's gaining popularity. A piece recently sold at auction for 69 million, and now lots of celebrities are jumping on board, with people like Post Malone making NFTs, Elon Musk made an NFT, so I can only see this gaining in popularity with more artists jumping on board when they see how much money there is to make. And if Cardano does become one of the top NFT platforms in the space, it could have a really strong impact on the price. Now in terms of my targets for these with Cardano, I'm quite bullish, and I think it could go from $1.2 now to maybe up to $14 to $19. A lot of people are predicting it's going much higher than that. Even if it goes much less than that, it's still going to be a fantastic return on our investments. Polkadot, on the other hand, I think my targets are more conservative. It's currently at $34 and my target around $50 in the future. And my plan with some of these coins that I think are a longer term hold is I am going to dollar cost average. So when the price dips, I'm going to slowly buy more and I'm going to dollar cost average and kind of hopefully make more money by doing it that way. I will be adding more money to this portfolio when things start to dip. And remember not to be too greedy. It's important to buy the dips and sell some of the highs, at least take partial profits and bank some of them profits. And overall, using that strategy, there's going to be much less risk. The next two that I bought are Cake and Binance coin. What I've done here is I bought $100 worth of coin, and my Binance coin, I've actually taken the 123 that I made from BitTorrent and put it into Binance. Now, as you can see, my price targets for Pancake currently at $17.6, looking to achieve $60. Binance, on the other hand, is currently at $295, which is more expensive. Now, the price targets on this one, although they seem much higher at $750, even if you were to do double this price, it's still only 2 times your return compared to some of these smaller ones that could do literally 10 times your money. Now, these two basically belong to 2 marketplaces. Binance coin belongs to Binance, and it's kind of their coin that you would use to buy and trade to other coins. These two are becoming increasingly popular because there's a site called Uniswap, which has a lot of different tokens you can swap to. That's struggling a little bit at the moment because of the rising cost of Ethereum. It's becoming more expensive. So these two could be a valuable alternative. So as I mentioned, Pancake aims to take out a slice of Uniswap's dominance. Basically, users are starting to flee the high Ethereum fees. So anyone who's tried to transact on the Ethereum network in 2021 will have noticed the astronomical rise in gas fees, which is compounded by the rising price of Ether. So as you can see, the price of the gas fees has literally been rocketing with the price of Ethereum. Whereas PancakeSwap is based on the Binance network. So as the price of one goes up, the price of the other should follow. So in terms of those, I have really nice price targets, and I'm thinking they're all quite promising projects. I feel quite comfortable with all the 5 that I'm holding because I think they're really good options. So just looking at my total, my current balance as of now is $613, and I've invested $300 so far. So that's actually 104% return on my money, which is really, really pleasing up till this point. Now, when I look at these returns, the first thing that comes to mind is I wish I had my 100,000 portfolio in these, because I've literally doubled my money within a couple of weeks. And while that's great, it is really high risk, and my money could have literally halved. So now you've seen my Binance portfolio, I think it's only fair to show you my Coinbase one too. So in my Coinbase portfolio, I've currently got about $630, and in my portfolio, you can see a breakdown, and I'm actually holding $584 in Cardano. As I said, I'm a really big fan of Cardano. I'm actually holding some small amount in Bitcoin, and you can see all of these other small amounts in here. Now, what I would say about Coinbase, although you might not want to use it, it's well worth just making an account for the rewards. So if you sign up for Coinbase, there's a link down below. If you deposit $100, you get $10 free. You also get offered these kind of free trainings on there. If you complete those, you get all these little small amounts. So actually, if I go to my home screen, I can show you that I've actually had in total $31 plus the $10 free for signing up. So in essence, you're depositing $100 and you're ending up with $140. So really, it's worth doing just for that. And if you want to support me, I also get $10 when you sign up. But if not, don't worry, but I think it is worth doing. So what I would say, guys, is invest money in this if you want to. As always, it's not financial advice, this is my personal journey. And what I'd like to just reiterate is this is really high risk. So if you're looking to get involved, you can do, but do it with a small amount of money that you're not afraid to lose. If I lost this money, it wouldn't have a significant impact on my total portfolio, as I'm still not even at the 1% mark. So as I said, I'm going to be increasing this in the videos to come. So if you're interested in seeing how I build this account and how the portfolio grows, make sure you subscribe and stick around for the next episode. And let me know down below if there's anything you think I should buy, take a look at, what I should add to this portfolio, or which coins you think are going to gain next. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let's see whether we can take this small altcoin portfolio to the moon.